And this is Deuce Ace, Bro to the Movies, here with our review for Project Power. Alright, man. Ace, take it away.
Project Power, new Netflix film, starring Jamie Foxx, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I don't remember her actual name. You know who she is if you've seen this movie. And yeah, it's a movie about drug dealers that are selling a little pill that when you eat it, it gives you superpowers. Or they're like, oh, maybe you'll blow up. And that's just the whole movie. Deuce.
So yes, Netflix is on a roll with their original programming. The Old Guard. What was the one with
Bright?
No, not Bright. Chris Hemsworth. Extraction.
I don't watch any of Netflix's original movies except for this one.
And let's not forget about the Deuce and Ace. Always Be My Maybe. Link to that below. But this is about
terrible movie.
Project Power. And so as always, we like to do the spoiler-free half up front, and then we'll get into the spoilers on the back end of the video. So this movie, it's
trash.
It's I personally not gonna say it's trash. As he said, it's about these pills that give you power. It takes place in New Orleans, so the Saints, the football team are prevalent in the film.
They say "Who dat" 27 times. The girls lock screen is Zion for some reason. It's like, we get it, you're New Orleans, you don't have to keep hammering us over the head with it.
Yeah, and so also, when they were coming out, I was like, is that? I literally said to Ace, I was like, is that New Orleans? Because of the Superdome and the longest, at least I believe it's the longest bridge in America, that goes over Lake Pontchartrain as you enter New Orleans, is featured heavily in this film. We know this because our grandparents used to live in New Orleans, and we drove down there, and I hated that bridge. So
and this has nothing to do with the movie, so let's speed it along, please.
Yeah. So the story is, again, it's these people taking pills. They have powers. It's kind of like low-key X-Men.
Not at all, but
what was the movie Chronicle? With
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that.
A worse version of that, sure.
So I'll just say again, the story is pretty simple. Government experiments, superpowered people, hunt for the superpowered people, world destruction, taking over the government, foil the plot. So that's the movie. Yeah. It's nothing original in that sense, but I will say I do like, again, the ties to Louisiana. I don't know if the director or one of the producers or something is from New Orleans, but I like that. I like the visuals. A lot of establishing shots of New Orleans again. I like how they use Lil Wayne on the soundtrack. He's from the Big Easy, so appreciate that. And would you say the action scenes were tight?
No, the action scenes were terrible. The CGI looked like something out of From the Mummy 2 when the rockets and Scorpion came.
Come on.
No, the editing was the only action scene I liked, it was the one...
Whoa. That's probably a spoiler, man.
There was only one action scene I liked, and even that was kind of iffy because you couldn't even see the action in the background, really. It was just like a cool perspective that looked pretty cool. But for most of it, it's just like shoddy editing. They're like, oh, cut. You can't really follow what's going on. It's dark most of the time, and the CGI looks bad. So no, I did not enjoy the action scenes. I like the camera work, not for every scene other than the action scenes. Actually, they did some cool things, some cool zooms, some cool one shots. But other than that, I don't have any positives for this movie. It's your run of the mill. If you saw this on TNT at 9 o'clock, you're probably like, oh, I'll read my book while this on in the background or something.
I guess, but I like the action. To me, it was more so like watching a TV show, like a la Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something like that.
I say it's worse than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Come on, man. Well, clearly we disagree, but I would say if you like an action flick, now again, this is not phenomenal. It is not a phenomenal movie,
it's
but
not good.
If you're just looking to get away, you're looking for something different. It is unique. It's like Limitless meets X-Men. That's how I would describe it.
All right. Possibly. Sure.
So I'm saying it is something different, and if you're into the genre of action, into the genre of sci-fi, you'll enjoy it.
Not if you're into the genre of action, because the action is few and far between, even in the movie. Like, most of the movie is just, they're on the run, talk, exposition, short action scene that looks bad. And then rinse, repeat for basically 2 hours. So if you're looking for a good action movie, maybe not this. If you're looking for like a weird story, I guess maybe watch this movie. But other than that, I can't see who this movie was for.
How did you think the acting was in the movie?
It was okay. Like, we've seen Jamie Foxx do much better. We've seen Joseph Gordon-Levitt do much better. I've never seen the girl in anything else, so I don't have anything to compare it to. But it's just like a mediocre film.
I mean, but come on, man, our boy MGK was in the building, man.
Not our boy. I don't mean to be Debbie Downer over here, but I'm not an MGK fan. He was in the movie for like 2 minutes, and yeah. I mean, I don't got much to say about this, like, non-spoilery.
Well, prior to the spoilers, you should subscribe. Just boost that subscribe count. Has been very stagnant. We appreciate all the subscribers, but for the hundreds of you who continue to watch but don't subscribe, we just be like, where you at? Just like, subscribe.
Show some love, please.
And be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Bro to the Movies. We never discuss our scores in advance, so we're about to drop this for you live in 3, 2, 1,
4.
5.
Yeah, it's a mediocre movie.
Deuce Ace score of 4.5. All right, time for spoilers.
Let's talk about how convoluted the plot of this movie is.
Hold on, before we do that, if you are a Deuce Ace fan, you know that I don't wear a hat when it's a movie I don't like. I'm going to take my hat off, but not because I don't like this movie, but because I'm feeling a little nauseous right now, and this has constricted my brain. So, excuse the beautiful curls. I'm sorry.
I don't know what that was, but
it's Deuce. I'm Deuce.
You know, barbershops are open.
We're in a pandemic.
Barely.
Okay, carry on.
Let's talk about how dumb the plot of this movie is. So, Jamie Foxx's character, like, when I was in the army, they experimented on me.
Radiation.
Whatever.
Incredible Hulk.
And then, at the beginning of the movie, the girl, her name Robin? Robin Riley, she's in school, they're talking about fetal alcohol syndrome, and then she's like, oh man, that's how your daughter has any powers, fetal alcohol syndrome. Whatever, he passed his genetic DNA to his daughter, and she has some superpower that they're now making a pill out of that is based on different animals and the different evolutions that other animals have, and then they're giving that to people on the street to test. First of all, already makes no sense. How is it that not only does his daughter have these powers, but how is it that her powers are then descended to other people randomly through random animals in the animal kingdom?
I mean, I could. So I'm trying to think of what movie or show it was that was very similar. You take the animal. I mean, it's countless stuff where you take the animal features, like kind of like the lizard in Spider-Man.
But he specifically went to a lizard to get that one trait characteristic from a lizard and inject it into himself. Spider-Man, it's a radioactive spider that bit him. It's not like a crapshoot. Like, oh man, you got a fire salamander. You got a whatever the other things are.
Well, I get that. I mean, I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is that I could accept that they just had a hodgepodge of animal stuff, and then that based off of your own personal DNA, it latched onto something. I could accept for not in reality, but for the sake of the movie.
So they didn't even go that far to give an explanation.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but what I can accept in this movie is just, it's like, so there's a scene where a guy's invisible, or no, excuse me,
he has camouflage.
So he's running camouflage, but this dude is like falling and fighting, and it's like, if you have camouflage, that doesn't make you super strong. If you have camouflage, that doesn't make you like better than the police. Like, they can clearly see you, and this dude is putting in work. Like,
I mean, he just ran from the police the whole time. And
I'm saying he's sitting here knocking people off. And,
yeah, but those are just random bystanders and stuff. Like I can accept that like a random criminal is maybe stronger than a random person on a bike. What I can accept is that Jamie Foxx's character is like some super soldier, that he's in a room full of gangsters and drug lords, and he's just going ham, and he's the only one coming out alive. Like, I mean, without using his power project pill thing.
It's just, I guess the reason I gave it a 5 is just because it's like there's some things where I can be like, okay, I could accept that. Well, but the power set, while I have some issues with that, is not my issues. The main issue is kind of similar to Captain Marvel, like.
Random, but okay.
No, I'm saying when a movie is telling a story, and then in order for you to understand, they don't use exposition, they use a flashback. To me, I think this movie would have worked best if we saw the story that happened in the past with the radiation, with his daughter growing up, then seeing the accident and seeing her taken away, so then we could be invested in them as characters. Now it's kind of just like, okay, we introduce Robin and her dope bars, but it's like, what's this got to do with the full story? Like, I'm saying, it's I have no problem with her raps. Like, as a retired producer. Excuse me?
I'm sorry, go on.
As a retired hip hop producer and I'm raising an aspiring rapper myself, I can appreciate the art. It just didn't fit into the story. Like the whole like like the not the flashback, but the like in her mind scene when she's rapping, it's like, dang, she torched that teacher. Then it's just in her mind. Like, why are we spending so much time on her and her rap aspirations when we got all this story to get to that's convoluted in and of itself? So it's like, I have nothing against her. I have nothing against the lyrics, but it's just, come on, like now she can ride a scooter. Now she can ride a motorcycle. Now she know how to work a boat. And it's just like her character to me, like, it's just all over the place in a story that's already all over the place. And it's just like, okay, this is happening now. And that's how I felt throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, man, I can't disagree with any of that, man. And also, throughout the whole movie, as you were saying, we don't latch on to any of the characters. I wasn't like rooting for any of the characters either. Like, oh man, it's sad that your daughter got kidnapped, but we don't know you. Oh, they like, oh, to Robin, your mom has diabetes. No, that's not funny. That's not funny. Your mom has diabetes, and you got to sell drugs to, try to make money for her. Like, oh, that's sad, but then we see all these other drug dealers and gang members like, oh, they're the bad guys. What if their mom has diabetes? Like, we see the picture of her like, oh, she's just on the wrong tracks because she has to be. What about all the other bad guys who have their own reasons for doing what they do? I think when you show someone doing something wrong for a quote-unquote good reason, then that kind of takes away from all the quote-unquote bad guys in the film because you choose not to show their reasoning, and then we're just left to assume, oh, they're just evil for the sake of being evil.
I mean, not just that, but kind of what you said. We spend so much time on her. The fire dude at the beginning is her cousin, supposedly.
MGK, yes.
That was MG?
Yes.
Wow. Mind blown.
Yeah, that's why they show him in the beginning scene, and then the next scene.
Yeah, gloss over that. But I'm saying, we spend all this time, we see the scene with her and her mom and the diabetes, we see her in school, so like, the movie is setting you up to be emotionally connected to her, and then it's Jamie Foxx and his daughter's story. Like, so it's like, what's the point? So, as you just said, not only do I not care about her anymore, I can't care about Jamie Foxx and his daughter because, sure, you're giving me character... Well, I don't even think he's a developed character. He's just like a super cool soldier who was experimenting on, and he's going to win the day. And
yeah, he doesn't change throughout the film. He's just, oh, I want my daughter back. Oh, I got my daughter back. That's it.
Yeah, because, I get the sense that if things went south, he would have killed Robin. And he also would have killed Robin, from The Dark Knight. Jordan.
The Dark Knight Rises, yes.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's Robin. You like that? Play on words?
Okay. But, yeah, let's talk about Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character. He's just, like, kind of there. They're like, oh, he's a police, and he's a rough cop. He takes the pill to get super. I'm like, if I'm the cops, I'm taking the pills too, bro.
But also, how did he know what, like, when he took the pill in this story, he's technically, unless he's done it before, is not supposed to know what would have happened to him.
I think we're supposed to assume that he's done it before because the first time we see him is when he's
against the invisible guy.
When he fake arrests Robin, and then she's doing a drug deal, and he's like, "Hey, police."
Oh, yeah.
So, like, since he's already established with her, we've established that he's already taken the pill because he bought from her before. But if I'm the police, we're all taking the pill because, as you see in the movie, only one person throughout the whole film blows up from the taking the pill. we see dozens of other people just get power. So I'm like, I'm taking my chances. So I don't understand him. He's either, oh man, I gotta catch this guy, but now I'm on this guy's side. Like, and the movie, like, oh man, the other police are bad. They're working with the government, whatever. And then the movie just ends. Like, so alright, so New Orleans PD just working for whatever federal agents who are passing out pills to the people, and it's just like I have no idea what this movie was supposed to be about and what it's supposed to mean.
Yeah, it's again. I personally like the action. I know the scene you were talking about earlier in the video was the ice scene, right? Like in the so there's the ice lady and she's in an enclosure, and so you just see.
Wait, before we even get to that, so if everyone's powers are coming from animals, they're like, oh, she has a thermostasis or whatever.
Yeah, she can thermoregulate.
Ain't no animal that can make ice come. Like everyone else, the guy he's got like he could break his bones. Like the one animal that he's stretchy. Okay, these are realistic interpretations of what animals can do. There's no animal that's shooting icicles at people. It's like they just want to make a cool scene, so who cares about the rules?
I mean, they clearly didn't care about the rules, because even though Jamie Foxx described that shrimp, his powers don't exhibit that of a shrimp.
I think he was just like bluffing to try to get out. He's like, oh, I'm the...
Oh, what animal exhibits the powers he had? That's what I'm saying. Shrimp? Panda?
What power did he have? He like, oh man, I got this gangster power, you know, and everyone, we got all these pills.
He shot energy waves, man. Well, that wasn't a cool scene, though?
No, because after 2 hours of watching this movie, I'm like, oh no. And he finally does. He could have been doing this the whole film, because we've established that once you're able to take the pill, you're not gonna blow up later. So you could just keep taking the pill as long as you don't overdose on them. So why doesn't he just have a pill in his pocket and every fight scene, pop it, blast people, pop it, blast people? But now I want to save it for the end for some lame final showdown with random villains who we don't care about either.
Yeah, okay, but I was talking about the ice scene. It's a lady in ice, the Glade.
Oh yeah, you got the spray
thing. But it's a lady in ice, and so I don't really know what's going on with her. She's dying from ice powers, but you can see the scene and Jamie Foxx putting in that work, and I thought that was a cool visual. So I'm gonna give it a positive, man.
I think it was kind of cool, but then it's like they're just trying to obstruct like what's going on in the background. I don't know if they didn't have the budget to show the whole brawl or whatever, but it kind of takes away from the fight in the background, because like, oh yeah, he just put in work. Next scene. I thought it was cool camera work, but I didn't like the action through like the glass.
Yeah. So yeah, convoluted story, convoluted writing. There were just multiple times where I'm rolling my eyes like, hold on, I got to check the notes. There was one line that was just like, come on, dog.
I was watching basketball during the movie. Watching the Celtics put in that work on the Sixers.
Oh yeah. So back to the frozen lady, and she puts her ice, hands on the glass, and the dude's like, just like Frozen. Like the Disney movie Frozen, yeah. Elsa. Come on, man! Like,
yeah, like just references for the sake of references. When Robin is rapping, and then Jamie Foxx like, "Oh, you gonna be the next Cardi B, Cardi C?" Like, we get it.
Come on, man!
Cardi B, famous rapper. Yeah, haha, you're so hip.
Yeah, movie. And so also just to rant. So I don't know if you know who Henrietta Lacks is, and that's a whole nother topic, whole nother video. If we
don't get me started.
So but HeLa cells and
HeLa,
I call them HeLa.
I call them
HeLa. HeLa cells. They were cells that were taken from her against her will. She had, I believe, ovarian or cervical cancer. And so it's an immortal cell line. Like her cells are still used in science today. She gets no credit, gets no money. So it's a very divisive topic. They throw that line in there as if this is the crux of the movie. Like, yeah, these people were experimenting on like Henrietta. No, you can't just throw something like that that's so serious, that's so real in there, and then ignore it. So again, I don't really use the word abysmal much, but
no one does.
The writing in this movie was abysmal.
Yeah, the writing was terrible. Acting subpar.
I don't know. I want to say that I think they acted with what they were given. They just weren't given much.
I don't know, man. Like Joseph Gordon-Levitt is like his line delivery was just weird. He's like, hey, oh, what's going on?
Yeah, it's just this movie. I couldn't give this movie anything but a 5. I didn't hate it. I mean, I was watching it. I was somewhat engaged, but the story and the writing, yeah, not great.
Yeah, it's just I had to give it a 4 because, as Duke said, not great, but also just took up too much time. I'm not here for a 2-hour fest of nothingness. Like, if it's gonna be bad, at least make it quick. If it's gonna be great, make it longer. And this one, too long for me.
Yep. So I believe that's that.
I guess so.
Anything else, man?
Not really. Checking over my notes.
Checking your notes. Oh yeah. I just read your notes. It was also in my notes. So her mom is poor and doesn't have diabetes. She has diabetes, but she can't get her medicine, and she has to get soup. But is she a vet? Because let's go to the scene. And this is how bad the writing is.
They don't establish this. They don't talk about this in any shape or form.
But her mom works at a vet. We don't know. Clearly, she's not a vet because she's poor.
I mean, she could still be. It's like thousands of working poor in America, so she could be a part-time vet or whatever and still be poor.
Okay, well, yeah. So I mean,
not have good insurance or whatever to pay for her diabetes.
Okay, sure. I just. I was just like, all right, clearly she's not a vet. She doesn't have insurance. I would assume vets have insurance.
I don't know why you would assume that.
Yeah, I don't know. But the issue is not, is she a vet or not? The issue is the writing. And again, the writing specifically for Robin. Jamie Foxx's character, I can't remember his name.
Major.
Major gets shot. He blacks out. He awakes, and Robin is doing multiple stitches on him because my mom works at a vet.
Yep, that's it.
That is this movie in a nutshell.
It's like, we need, something happens, we need the next thing to happen, so just crap something out, and we'll just make it work.
So, yeah, I really hope, what's the dude from Screen Rant?
Ryan George.
I hope Ryan George does this movie. I hope CinemaSin does this movie, just because it's like...
CinemaSin's high-key fell off, man. Calling you out.
Okay.
Shout out to the bird, man.
Oh wow! But yeah, I just really want to see what other people had to say about this movie, just because it's not a comedy, but a lot of it is sarcastically, not sarcastically, but like unfortunately comedic. I don't know.
I don't think it's funny. I'm sitting there. I'm like, man, really wish I wasn't here right now.
Come on, man. We're here together as bros, man.
All right, man. We bro to the movies.
We bro to the movies, even if it's at our house. My house. He doesn't live with me.
Alright, I don't know why you gotta say that, man.
Alright, this one I don't know.
Home is where the heart is, and my heart's with my family, so I guess it's my home.
Anyway, so
I'm moving in.
Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to follow us on social media at Bro to the Movies. I don't know where you live, but things are opening up. Movies are coming out.
I won't be in the movie theaters anytime soon, so.
But that won't stop us from watching movies.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so with that said, I'm Deuce.
I'm Ace.
And this has been Deuce and Ace, Bro to the Movies. Out.
Hey, Deuce and Ace here. Thanks again for sticking around for the whole video.
We're so glad you did. We hope you enjoyed the movie reviews, the trailer reactions, the funny bros, and the quality content. If you do, be sure to subscribe, check out these videos, and be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Bro to the Movies.
Deuce and Ace.